Zales Jeweler is a chain of jewelry stores that started in 1924. Thank you for your suggestion.
Starting tomorrow, Zales is having its biggest sale of the season, where you can save up to 50%, plus take up to an extra $200 off every piece of jewelry in the store. Every ring, every bracelet, every necklace, and every pair of earrings. That's up to an extra $200 off, even on sale prices, Friday through Sunday, at Zales, the diamond store.
Morris B. Zale, born in Russia but raised in Texas, opened his first jewelry store in Wichita Falls, Texas in 1924. 2 years later, Zale opened a second Texas store and was joined by his childhood friend and brother-in-law, Ben Lipshy. From the beginning, Zale stores offered credit, with payments typically spread out over 12 months, even to its low-income customers. It leased its first locations, a practice that placed pressure on the company, grown to 3 stores at the beginning of the 1930s, when the company was stuck with long-term leases fixed at high pre-Depression rents. Despite the Depression, however, the company continued to expand through the decade, opening a 4th store in Amarillo in 1934 and growing to 12 locations in Texas and Oklahoma by 1941. The secret of his success was anything but a secret. It was credit, something unheard of in a jewelry field and something he let everyone know about. The news spread and the customers came and came again, leaving MB, as he is often called, little choice but to expand his operation. The company's goal of selling the greatest amount of jewelry to the largest number of people at the lowest possible price introduced the concept of mass marketing to retail jewelry, a business that had previously catered exclusively to the wealthy. In order to attract a working-class clientele, Zales offered interest-free credit with minimal down payments and low weekly installments. This was a radical departure for retail jewelers who traditionally operated strictly on a cash-and-carry basis. Zales also utilized extensive advertising to emphasize its quality merchandise, affordable prices, and no-interest credit. In 1946, the company moved its headquarters from Wichita Falls to Dallas. It not only expanded by starting new stores, but also acquired several well-known jewelry stores and continued to operate under their original names. Zales purchased the first of its such acquisitions, Corrigan's of Houston, in 1944. This store provided the foundation for the company's highly successful Guild division. In the 1950s, the company was among the first major jewelers to institute management training. By 1956, Zales was operating a total of 63 stores in 10 states, with gross annual sales exceeding $35 million. To assist with the data management, the company purchased and installed one of the country's first computer systems. In 1957, Morris Zale relinquished the company presidency to his brother-in-law, Ben Lipshy. Zale assumed the position of chairman of the board of directors and remained active in the company's operation. That same year, Zales went public with its stock, Zalefsky, to acquire more capital for expansion. The company also opened the first store in a shopping center, which was a major shift away from only downtown locations. A major step forward came in 1958 when Zales began buying diamonds directly from the South African firm De Beers. Since Zales personnel purchased cut, polished, mounted, and marketed diamonds, the company eliminated middlemen at each of those steps, thus reducing margins as well as increasing profits. This procedure helped maintain the uniform quality of merchandise that Zales had long emphasized. In the mid-1960s, the Zale Corporation diversified its holdings by acquiring the Skiller drugstore chain, Carrotkin furniture stores, Levine department stores, Butler Shoe Company, Cullum and Boren Sporting Goods, O.G. Wilson Catalog Stores, Optics Incorporated, and Sugarman Incorporated. By 1974, in addition to the 956 retail jewelry stores, Zale had grown to include 351 shoe stores, 83 drug stores, 146 clothing stores, 25 sporting goods stores, 13 home furnishing stores, and 13 tobacco newsstand concessions. Trouble began to brew for Zale in the 1970s. Charges that the company's CFO had been embezzling funds. The CFO was eventually acquitted, which led to investigations from the IRS and other government agencies into alleged misappropriation of funds, including avoiding some $27 million in federal tax payments. These investigations would culminate in a $78 million tax charge brought by the IRS against Zale in 1982. By then, Zale's more than 1,400 stores included international operations, with stores in the United Kingdom, Switzerland, France, West Germany, Canada, and South Africa. At the beginning of the decade, Zale abruptly began selling off its non-jewelry retail operations, despite raising revenues, which topped $1 billion in 1980. These operations produced little of the company's profits. By 1984, the Zale Corporation had divested of all those holdings except Wilson's and returned exclusively to retail jewelry. In 1984, Zales employed 13,500 people in its 9 divisions and operated some 1,550 retail jewelry units. In addition to its Zales stores, the company also operated Mission Jewelers and leased jewelry departments in some of the country's leading department stores. The Guild division included some of the nation's most prestigious jewelry stores, such as Bailey, Banks, and Biddle of Philadelphia. In the movie Back to the Future, Zales makes several cameos in the movie. Can you spot the product placement? In 1989, the company acquired Gordon's Jewelers, a 469-store chain based in Houston. With gross sales surpassing $1 billion, Zales ranked as the world's leading retail jeweler. Though the Dallas-based corporation was the nation's largest jewelry retailer in 1991, the company was involuntarily thrust into bankruptcy in January of 1992 when it filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. In 1991, the firm's 4 separate retail chains, Zales, Bailey, Banks, and Biddle, Gordon's, and Corrigan's, produced $1.2 billion in annual sales. Nevertheless, Zales faced a $1.2 billion debt from the 1986 takeover by People's Jewelers and declining sales blamed on a nationwide recession. In 1993, Zales emerges from its bankruptcy with debt under control and 700 fewer stores, a reduction in its employees by 2,500 or 20%, and replacement of its top management. Plans also called for closing many of the firm's duplicate stores in shopping malls. By 1997, the Zales Corporation achieved 4 profitable quarters and annual sales reached $1.3 billion. The following year, the company began online sales at Zales.com and launched Zales Outlet at 13 locations in premier outlet centers nationwide. Just before the new millennium, the Zales Corporation acquired People's Jewelers of Canada and Piercing Pagoda. The company divested from the Bailey, Banks, and Biddle brand and expanded online sales with the launch of GordonJewelers.com in 2007. The JCK Harrison Group Consumer Jewelry Study ranked Zales number 1 in unaided brand awareness. The company expanded in 2009 and 2010 with the launch of the new e-commerce websites ZalesOutlet.com, Pagoda.com, and PeoplesJewelers.com. The Zales Corporation partnered with Vera Wang in 2012 to create the Vera Wang Love Collection of diamond bridal jewelry. In 2014, the Zales Corporation celebrated its 90th anniversary and was acquired by Signet Jewelers, Inc. of Akron, Ohio. In 2016, the Zales Corporation, Kay and Jared, introduced the Ever Us collection of the two-stone diamond rings, earrings, and pendants, which became the most successful launch in company history. As of 2019, the company operated over 1,700 locations. So what are your favorite memories of this place? Leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video below. Thanks for watching.